And hello and welcome to the penultimate round of the Freshman Series. You join us here at Interlagos, myself, Tucson0208, and Tiger Assassin, who is just finishing something up before he comes back to qualifying, but he'll join us any moment now, as this is a potential championship decider we have here in Brazil. Very nice track this, one of my personal favourites. As currently Ex-Nati now is coming to the line to start his lap. Moves over to the right hand side of the track before breaking down into the first part of the Senna S, down to third gear. And a short shift to fourth for the next part on the medium tyres at the moment. I believe he's the only driver out at the moment on the medium tyres. He is, apart from Larry's in the pit, so it is just Ex-Nati right now out on the medium tyres. He does set the fastest first sector, a nice Ayrton Senna tribute helmet there. Obviously this was his home Grand Prix, the great Brazilian driver. Now coming up towards turns 5 and 6, we've got a retirement already, as HETP Pyro has had an incident on the straight. I'm trying to see if I can get an onboard of it. Oh, and he has crashed heavily in the middle of the straight there. That is a very, very big crash for the Haas driver. Sure, he won't be too happy about that one. But anyways, if we're going back to championship permutations, basically to win the championship, Holland Campion needs to outscore Lord Jedi by 9 points. So if Holland Campion were to finish in first, that would mean that Lord Jedi would need to be third or higher to keep the championship going to the next round in Abu Dhabi.
Dirty Larry's out in sector 2.
Yeah, we've got a Red Bull off the track as well, I just saw for a second there.
Need to go through the replacements as well.
No, hang on, something's gone very badly wrong. Dirty Larry's car's just stranded in the middle of the track. For some reason it hasn't despawned him.
Oh yeah, it has now. It's gone off my map. It should be off my map. But a few replacements today. Mares replaces Kebab. Pope, where is it? Pope Tebes replaces Yusamaki in the Renault, and Victor 90 replaces AB Techers in the Haas today. So a few academy drivers in, so they'll be very familiar with this track.
Yeah, obviously, and the big disappointment for me personally last time, so we didn't get to see Mares potentially take it to Lord Jedi for the win last race. Obviously he's deputising for, I believe it's Kebab in the Ferrari. He was very quick last race and he won the academy race yesterday around the same track. So let's see what he can do today, as at the moment Thunder 50/50 is on pole by 4/10. A very good lap, a very solid lap there on the soft tyres from the Racing Point drive. Just as I say that, Antelopin now goes to provisional pole of a 109.3. As obviously the other qualifying sessions that we've had this week have all been wet, so don't know how my pole times could potentially compare to these guys. As at the moment Antelopin is on pole, the second dry qualifying that we've had, but the weather is very unpredictable here and could throw up quite an interesting race. As I'm trying to find out if any of our championship contenders are out on track. Lord Holland Campion is currently out on an out lap. He really needs a good qualifying today. His championship does sort of depend on it, but he does have that 17-point lead at the moment.
I believe Mares is in really good contention here, because actually yesterday it was a dry qualifying. He did a 1:08.7 on this track, which is a really, really good time. So once you get into the 1:08, you know you're on a really good time here. So Mares potentially looking very, very strong here among these academy lead drivers.
As he's currently coming through the second sector at the moment, very nicely hooked up front end on the Ferrari. He's coming through double apexed corner there of turn, I believe that's 6 or 7, now into the corner where Hamilton and Alex Albon had their little incident, as Cryptech now goes to the pole with a 109.2, but just taking away from that now, as Mares is going to come through Jun Sao and back on the power, now the blast up the hill towards the line. It's still very technical track. Comes through the two final kinks, the two final left-hander kinks, and up to the line now. He keeps it close to the pit wall. It looks like it's going to be a good lap. It's an 8.9. Mares goes to pole.
That is an outstanding lap from Mares, an 8.9.
A very quick lap.
So as I said, so back into the 1:08 again for Mares, but Yeah, we also seem to call that corner at the end 2 different corners, because I call it Glock corner.
Yeah, that was me in the chat yesterday saying that it's where Hamilton claimed the championship, but it's actually called Jun Sao in real life.
Yeah, I like calling it Glock corner. I think it sounds better, but I think Pope actually just went fastest in Sector 2, so he could be coming around for a good lap. It's him and Mares are both battling for the Academy League Championship. Oh, and he got second! So both Academy drivers putting in some very, very good laps here.
Yeah, showing up the Freshman League boys a bit at the moment, these two. They currently sit 1 and 2 in the Academy Championship, and they're currently 1 and 2 in the Freshman League. So, and Oriole's currently out on an outlap as well. Colin Campion, who's only 6th at the moment with a 109.8. You haven't seen Lord Jedi out on track at the moment, but he's on the lap now as he's come through the first 2 corners, now down towards turn 4.
Just remember as well, Joe actually has a LLP3 because he got an LLP2 last race, no, LLP1, sorry, last race, which added on to his LLP2 because he had an LLP3 the race before, and it decreases. So he will not actually be qualifying, and he will be starting from the back of the grid.
Yeah, I believe that is correct. And hello to everyone in the chat at the moment. I'm currently on board with Lord Jedi. I don't know if you want to get your camera down. We've got yellows in Sector 3, and I believe it's a hat that's gone off. No, it's a Renault. Taylor's had an instant at Jun Sao. He might have got just a little bit squirrely on the curb there, and it looks like he's spun round. He's back on the track now. As Lord Jedi currently coming through Jun Sao, now the blast up the hill. Haven't seen a second sector split time yet, though. It looks like it might have been pretty good now. So he's going to come to the line, DRS open, through the left-handed kink of the final corner. Going to keep it close to the pit wall now. It's not going to be a 1 minute 8, it's a 1 minute 9.5. He goes 7th place. Ahead of his championship rival, Holland Campion, but probably not what he needs to mount a significant challenge to the Dutch driver.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see whether those 2 drivers can actually get higher up the table here, as only down in 7 and 8. So maybe just trying to get a banker lap in, maybe so they can secure a qualifying time and then maybe push towards the end of this qualifying session.
Potentially, but Pepperlek has now just done the fastest first sector of anybody as he comes through turn 4 now. One's a bit wide there. Pepperlek, the qualifying king of the Freshman League so far. And he's going to come down now to turn 5, down to 5th. Oh, he's lost the rear a little bit there, a little bit of oversteer. That means he slided through the corner, if I can get my words out. And now into turn 7, I believe this is. Short shift to 4th, now up towards the hairpin. Late braking, nicely done there. Hooks up the apex beautifully there from the Mercedes driver. Very poised front end on the front of that car. So he comes up towards Jun Sao looking for the 100-meter board braking down to 3rd gear. It's in the fastest middle sector of anyone. But he's a bit wide. He's a bit wide on the exit, although there might be a bit of lag from my end. Yeah, definitely. So he might be running lower wings on the rear to try and get some more performance in a straight line.
DRS
so
open.
Come to the line now. Takes a different line from everyone else. It's a 109.1.
Second. Brilliant lap from Pepperlek, but it isn't actually enough. It isn't actually enough to beat Mares, who is the only person at the moment in the 1 minute 8, so 1 minute 8.9. So Pepperlek maybe might be able to find a little bit more time out of that car to get in front of Mares, along with Lord Jedi and Holland Campion, who have not put in the best of times here. And X90 as well, putting in a 1 minute 9.1 before, and he's getting himself up into those nearly into the 1 minute 8s here.
Yeah, as I'm sure Pepperlek will be wanting to improve on that time. He doesn't want to lose his quite significant pole streak at the moment. I believe he's had pole in every race from the second round of the season until last time out in USA, where his run was stopped by Lord Jedi. Got yellows in sector 3. I believe that's just people setting up for a lap. Another an honourable mention would be X-Natty, who is in 3rd now, also on a 109.1, so matching the pace of Pepperlek at the moment. In fact, we've got 3 drivers all in the same 10th of a second there.
That is close. It is close throughout the whole of the grid, all the way down to Brambo Super Fixer, up to Pepperlek. There's only about 7 tenths between all of those drivers, so we could see a really good end here towards this qualifying, as that time is so marginal between all of those drivers.
Definitely, it's a very closely contested grid here in the Freshman Series. 1st to 12th, 1st to 13th now even, all within the same second. He's got the 2 racing points currently exchanging positions on track. I believe Lord Jedi has let Thunder go through. Thunder was actually the most recent, I'm not going to say contestant, but guest on the Gavra Racing Grid Slot podcast. So please, if you want to hear him talk about his experiences in the Freshman League, go check out the podcast. Shameless plug. There we go. That's out of the way. Now we can continue on with the rest of Thunder's lap. As he's coming around now towards the end of the second sector, let's see what his split time looks like. Can he go fastest? He's a tenth. He's 2 tenths up on his personal best time. So at the moment, that would probably put him in around 5th place, and improving what he has done so far. Coming through the 2 left-hand kinks, you really don't think about this as an F1 car. So keep it close to the left-hand side. He's run out of ERS. No, he hasn't.
He's
to the line.
1% left as he went across the line, and he got 6th position. Sorry, I won 9.3.
9.3. So he lost a little bit of time there in the final sector, maybe, as you said, Tiger. And as Lord Jello gets very, very squirrely on the exit of turn 2 there into 3.
Let's have a look.
He's running
actually,
some low wings
coming
there.
towards the end of his lap. Coming around, I believe that's turn 8, is it? I'm not really good with corners. Down into the corner where I crashed out in Premier Series qualifying.
It was raining, but still I let you off.
Yeah, it was raining, yes. But Natty come down now towards Glock corner.
Oh, he's 9,000 down.
Oh, 9,000. So cutting it close here, Natty. But can he improve on his time? He only needs to improve by a little bit here to get up maybe into second or first. Oh no, he comes in. So clearly not finding any more time there in that final sector. Nothing to come in.
As Lord Jedi is currently 3 tenths down on his lap. Don't know if we'll see him complete the lap. It's not too much time but you can really find in the final sets unless you've made a major mistake, and he hasn't opened the DRS and he has come into the pits. So that will be, for his next run, will probably be the final runs for these drivers, as Mares still currently sits on provisional pole, albeit by 2 tenths. You've got Cryptek back out on track again, but I think the shock so far for qualifying, Holland Campion down in 11th place. He's outside of the top 10 at the moment.
So I'll have to have a look here. There's quite a few drivers now to Saint come around towards the end. Brambo Superfix is actually 4 tenths up. He's coming around now at the final corner and then down to the line. Let's see what time he can put in. Oh, he goes 8 for 19.4. Look at the gap there, to Saint. Look at that gap between 8th and 2nd. That is marginally close between all those drivers. And keep an eye on Pepelek as well. He's coming around in Sector 2. He's 200ths down, but he might be able to find some time through that middle sector.
As he might have put up the wing angle on the front of the car. Looks like he's struggling with some understeer there. Oh, he's got a bit of oversteer now there, getting on the power a little bit too early, the Mercedes driver. Oh, he's missed the apex one a bit wide there. Oh, there's a Red Bull slightly in the way. He's off the racing line, but a very awkward track to get out of the way here. He's on the fastest middle sector of anyone. He's half a tenth up on his personal best lap. Could he knock Mares off provisional pole here? He's coming through the final 2 corners now. DRS, he's going to run up to the line, over the green stuff on the inside, keeps it close to the pit wall like everyone else, comes to the line, it's a 108.9, it's not enough to go. It's not enough to go to the pole.
Look how close that is to Saint. That is... Sorry, I'm just trying to imagine my head. 500ths, yes, 500ths of a second between Mares and Pepelek. This qualifying, it's going to be so close between all of these drivers.
Definitely.
And look at the championship, though. Look. Campion down in 12th on his outlap. Lord Jedi only up in 9th.
As I am going to be keeping my camera on Holland Campion, he really needs to pull out a pretty stellar lap here, I'd say, to make sure that he can maintain that championship advantage. Because at the moment, he's starting outside of the points. He will have 3 choice of tyre, but it is quite an easy one-stop run here. We'll get into the strategy stuff after qualifying is over. But he's currently slowing down in the middle sector, potentially looking for a slipstream from his teammate, possibly. As Joe is still in the pit, so I believe he can come out on track now. If he has an LLP3. Yeah, that is right. Yeah, sorry. Ignore me.
He had an LLP3, not last race, but the race before.
Tiger Mares hasn't come back out on track, and I believe he's going to be out of time now.
He will be, so can anyone beat Mares?
Look at Pope through the middle sector, 3 tenths up on his fastest time.
He ran it wide on the exit of Glock corner onto the grass.
He's on a bit wide though, that shouldn't affect his lap time too much. He's going to come to the line now.
What does he get?
Takes a slightly wider line.
Oh,
9.0!
Third! A
Third, he stays third.
9.0 from Pope. And these academy drivers really showing up. This freshman league out here, as both replacement drivers have come in and they're putting in some outstanding laps here.
It's just showing the pedigree of the academy at the moment, as Thunder is only half a tenth down on his fastest lap time.
Look at everyone on fastest laps here. Cryptek is on a lap. Thunder on a lap. Antelope on a lap. Holland Campion's on a lap as well, but he's invalidated it. So he's going to have to pick up a pace a little bit to get round so he can get another lap in.
Definitely, as I'm going on board with Holland Campion at the moment, he's invalidated his lap.
Yeah, he has. So
Holland
he's going to have to
invalidated his lap.
He's going to have to pick up the speed here to try and get round and get across the line. Oh, someone put in fastest middle sector. I believe it was Thunder, but then someone stole it back off of him.
No, but
I'm not
Tiger.
sure what was.
The thing is, though, Lord Jedi's not going to start above 9th. He hasn't come back out on track again. As Thunder goes 6th now for 109. No, he goes 3rd.
Thunder goes
with 109
flat.
With 109 flat.
A 9 flat. So Pepper, Lord Jedi, yes, he said, oh, he's come out now, but it's not going to be enough unless the game is... No,
unless we've
it
got
won't be.
different timings to everyone else again, that might have happened. Holland Campion are 10th up in the first sector. Sorry to interrupt, but Holland Campion is on a very good lap here at the moment. I believe it was the fastest first sector of anyone. He's going to come up towards turns 5 and 6 now. Shift down to 5th gear. As you've got yellows in sectors 2 and 3. I'm going to ignore those. We've got Mars on an out lap. We have got different timings. So what always missed the apex there massively, though, as the Red Bull driver. This may have compromised the second sector a lot here, as we have got different timings to the drivers, I think. Oh, he's missed the apex again. Holland Campion has had
because Mares
a very scruffy lap.
Mares just came across the track there when the time ended, and he's now on a flying lap. So I would definitely do. Oh, and he's running onto the grass as well. Holland Campion not happy here at all, looking very, very all over the place. And look at everyone on. Oh, someone's wanged it into the wall. It's Antelope.
Oh no. He has been able to get back on track though.
It's got bad wing damage.
Holland Campion retires! Oh no!
Oh no!
So Holland Campion won't start above 12th.
Lord Jedi though, it's on a lap.
Lord Jedi is on a lap. This is a chance for Lord Jedi to capitalise here.
But look who else is on a lap. Pepperlex on a lap, and Maris both on a lap. Maris coming around the final.
Lord Jedi's invalidated his lap though, so he won't start above 9th.
He won't, but Maris put in the fastest sector 2, Toussaint. Can he potentially steal pole by improving on his own time and starting first on this grid? Let's have a look here and see where he comes. Will he improve? Oh, he does!
8.5. He smacks into the Williams there at the end, but a 108.5.
Let's have a look. No, Pepperleck isn't improving unless he can get something out of the car at the end here. I don't think he's going to improve.
He hasn't opened his DRS. He's slowed down. He's backed off.
No, he hasn't. So Mares, the replacement Ferrari driver in the Academy League, current champion, a 108.5. That is an outstanding lap from Mares. Pepperleck will take 2nd. Thunder will take 3rd. Pope will take 4th. Brambo will take 5th. X-Natty will take 6th. Cryptek will take 7th. Antelope will take 8th. And the biggest controversy here, to say the biggest thing in this qualifying session, Lord Jedi will qualify 9th ahead of Holland Campion. And that would put Lord Jedi in the running for the championship because Lord Jedi would get points and Holland Campion wouldn't.
It would definitely keep the championship going. If Lord Jedi can get up a few places, though, he could even take the championship lead if he can get up to 2nd. But that might be a bit easier said than done, as we've got some very fast drivers. I can't quite get over that lap time of 108.5 by Mares.
That has to be. Is that some sort of lap record, maybe?
I'm just gonna go have a look real quick, and then we can have a discussion about the strategies before the race begins. So it seems like that Mares has very much taken over the mantle as a qualifying king of the freshman series. As I'm just looking at the lap times now, in terms of an absolute record, that is a new Gavra Racing lap record by nearly 2 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, by nearly 2 seconds.
I don't know whether that's been updated or not, because there was a lot of people yesterday who were...
It is a Gavra Racing lap record, though, not by 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, but a long time, so
a brilliant time from Mahrez, showing why the Academy League might just be a little bit too easy for him, Toussaint. Maybe he needs a bit more of a challenge, freshman or maybe even Premier. Pope as well, yeah, both drivers, and they're both contending for the championship in that league. Both were actually drawing on points out last week in the USA, and Mahrez came into this week with leading the points. So a brilliant battle in the Academy League, and a brilliant battle we've got here, because that qualifying session really mixing up what could be a really, really interesting championship battle going into the final race.
Yeah, definitely. As at the moment, it looks like Lord Jedi will be able to make up something of a deficit to Holland Camping in this race, as whilst the drivers get underway for their formation app. Shall we talk strategies?
Yeah, I mean, for me, on Monday, I was actually going for a softer hard strategy, a one-stop. So about 14 laps, the game you can actually get out of these tyres on this track, because it's just such a short track. You can get about 13 to 14 laps and then go the hards of the rest of the race. Some people can even maybe get a little bit more out of those soft tyres and maybe go on to the mediums and try and get the mediums towards the end of the race as well.
Yeah, definitely. So if you're looking to go for a soft to medium around here in the 50% range, you're looking to get to around lap 17 before you can, 16, 17 before you can start switching to the medium tyre. Obviously, what we don't know is we've had quite a few safety cars in the freshman series, so whether or not that will, how much of a role that will play in the drivers' strategies, we'll have to wait and see.
That'll play a big role. Actually, Dirty Larry opting for the set of hard tyres, because he didn't actually put in a lap time, so he gets free choice of tyre here. So he's opting to go long at the start, Toussaint, and maybe go to a softer tyre at the end of the race.
And Holland Campion has elected to start on the medium tyres.
So Holland Campion going long as well. So he really trying to get up the positions here and trying to get up the positions towards the middle of the race after everyone has started pitting, and then maybe going for a soft tyre at the end of the race.
And so everyone in the chat knows, remember, title permutations for today. To win the championship at this race, Holland Campion needs to outscore Lord Jedi by about 9 points. Antelopen does still have a mathematical chance, but he does need to win the race.
So Antelopen needing to win to stay in it. Campion 9 points out of Lord Jedi, but Lord Jedi might be able to take the lead here if he outscores Campion. I don't know whether if Campion was to crash out, whether he'd win the championship if he was to get high up in the points.
No,
I don't
believe so, but we're going to go to 5 red lights now, and for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's lights out, and away we go.
That was synchronized. No, it wasn't. That was really synchronized.
And
it's done that thing. It's great. There we go. Now the lights are out, and we're going again, and it's a Mahrez after a brilliant start. Pope looking down the inside of the Williams and the Force India going wheel to where there's big. There's at the back here. There's loads of positions going.
Lord Jedi's round. Lord Jedi's round.
And Dirty Larry's hit into him.
And there's been a big incident there. Lord Jedi falls back to last place. We've got a safety car. We've got a safety car straight off the bat here.
Straight away here. And I did call before the start of the race. I was thinking there would be some form of incident here. And it seems to have happened. Lord Jedi spinning around, going wheel to... I don't even know who he went wheel to wheel with there. But
I think he dove down the inside of one of the Red Bulls, I believe it was, and he just got... It was an Ocon and Verstappen thing, almost exactly with the same cars.
Maybe it could have been down the inside of Cryptek, maybe.
There was just no space, and there was no space left by the Red Bull. Lord Jedi left with nowhere to go, and now he's back down in last place. He's got no damage.
Lord Jedi, no damage, but he's going to have to try and find some form of a comeback here, as both championship contenders at the moment, apart from Antelopen, out of the points here, Toussaint. So what a big mix-up that could be. I don't know if any drivers will pit at the moment, unless they're trying to maybe opt for a two-stop.
I imagine we'll see everyone stay out, Tiger.
I believe so, yeah. It doesn't look like many people come in.
Damage.
Have to see.
Yeah,
someone's coming.
McLaren.
Bates, I think Bates was involved. Yeah, he must have been involved in that incident at the start. Taylor coming in. Both McLaren. No, one Renault, sorry. One McLaren coming in.
And the
Oriol coming in as well. So
Oriol, who has had some very poor luck recently in this freshman league. He's a much faster driver than 18th place, so I'll definitely give him that. As you've got a safety car now at the end of lap 1, but Mahrez already had quite a sizable advantage before we had the safety car come out there.
Definitely,
but
he got a brilliant start off the line. Mahrez managed to get the jump on Pepelec and move in front of him. But even before the first corner, and Pepelec had to battle with Pope, but managed to get in front of him down to turn 2 and 3. So a brilliant start from the Academy League leader.
Sorry, as this could be a godsend for Antelopen at the moment. Currently in 8th, his teammate Xnati's in 4th. If we see those two come together in the race, could we see Xnati potentially move out of the way for his teammates' championship?
Maybe.
Likewise with Cryptek and Thunder, who are both ahead of their teammates at the moment under the safety car. I believe we're going to have another lap of the safety car, which
I'm not sure. We'll see what happens when he comes around to the 3rd sector. No, I think it's going to stay out here.
Lights are still on, yeah. Unless it's going to do a very late call. The game has been known for doing that in the past.
It has been, and it's going to be interesting here. Teammates may try and work together here, and especially if Antelopen can get a good start back out of this safety car, potentially here to say could maybe get the jump on Cryptek and Super Thixer, maybe Thunder as well, and maybe Xnati will give him enough slipstream to get around him, get himself up into 4th, and he could still be in contention for the championship as well if it stays as it is right now.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously with both, we've got a car's had damage at turn 1. I can't see which car it is. It's not Xnati. I'm trying to look through the field now. I just saw an end plate loose at turn 1.
Unless it was an end plate from before, maybe? A loose end plate?
Potentially, but it looks like it recently came off a car. I think it was Pepelec. I think Pepelec's got... Yeah, no.
Who is it? I can't see.
I'm just trying to see.
Yes, it is. It's Pepelec. It's
Pepelec
right.
has damage.
Front right end plate damage for Pepelec. Whether it's severe or not, we will not know. But that is unfortunate for Pepelec here. Maybe a collision under the safety car. Could be a exclamation mark claim in the chat for him if he needs it.
Exclamation mark claim.
Exclamation mark claim in the chat if he needs it. But it'll be interesting to see. A big gainer actually here. Let's have a look at the big gainers here. Joe, a massive gainer after that start there, Toussaint. From the back of the grid all the way up into 12th. After that first incident, so he taking advantage of the first incident here, and there seems to be a bit of a clog up here between the drivers, but hit him all the way up into 12th place. Barty moving up 3 positions as well.
Safety car in this lap. So
Xnati did actually move up 2 positions as well during that, and Pope moving up 1. So good start from those drivers, but the safety cars are now about to end and we can get back off racing, and this is going to be interesting when we start here, Toussaint, because this is just a straight line all the way to the first corner.
Where will Morris decide to go? He's gone quite early. He's caught Pepelec napping there.
Pepelec's gone in the pits.
But Xnati challenging around the outside into the center S.
He's going to try and go for around the outside here.
Around the outside.
Oh, he goes wheel to wheel with Pope. Maybe he might slide behind. Oh, he goes down the inside on turn 2. That could have been it could have been catastrophic there for Xnati, but now he's going to try and look for a move again.
Pope goes defensive.
Pope goes defensive, but Thunder getting involved as well with those cars.
Xnati to the outside. He's off the track.
It's gonna. Oh, he's trying to look for
He's still there.
One of these drivers is going to have to back off here. You can't go wheel to wheel into this corner, and I think Xnati took the advantage.
Space.
No,
Xnati's still there. He tucks him behind.
He almost lost it there on the coming into that corner there, Toussaint. But I was just about to say that Thunder trying to get involved as well. Both GTS commentators both going at it here, and that could be some interesting conversations after. But looks like Xnati having a little bit of trouble finding grip at the rears as he keeps on losing the rear into some of these corners. The same with Thunder as well.
as Holland Campion already up into 9th place off the restart, so back into the points for the Red Bull driver. He's got Joe all over the back of him now, but Mares with a 2-second lead already now after only 5 laps of racing. Does a fast lap of the race. Brilliant. Joe will be in the slipstream of the Red Bull all the way down the straight. Can he make a move into turn 1? No, just a bit too far back, but side by side we've got Cryptek and Antelope. Cryptek goes a bit wide. Oh, he's lost the rear. They're side by side. They touch again through turn 3. And Antelope gets the move.
Antelope gets the position. Also, Lord Jedi moving himself at the back of the back here to Saint, gaining on both Joe and Holland Campion here. Is Barty going for a move? Maybe Holland Campion going for a move around the outside of his teammate. They almost collide. They almost collide. The teammates and Joe getting involved as well. Joe maybe getting involved as he's going to go around the outside.
Outside. Can he keep it? He does. What a move from the Mercedes driver.
Oh, and Lord Jedi
Lord Jedi
move down the inside of the Red Bull. And we are having a move here as both championship contenders split up by Joe here. And it's Joe looking for a move down the inside. A little bit wide on the exit, and Campion manages to get the cut back. But what a start. What a safety car restart we've had here.
Definitely, and Lord Jedi knows the stakes here. He does not want to lose sight of that Red Bull in front.
Oh, Joe's going for it again.
Speaking of which, Campion's had a bad exit. That's going to give Joe a run now down the main straight. As I come down towards turn 1, they're side by side, wheel to wheel, past the pit entry. Joe on the inside, Campion on the outside. Can Joe make the move? He's got the inside line now, coming down into turn 1. Late braking. Can Joe make it?
I think Joe got it.
He does have it. He has it. And so the two championship contenders now line of third now, 9th and 10th, and they've got DRS. But Holland Campion now be able to come back at the Mercedes.
He's got
Joe has DRS as well.
But so does Lord Jedi. No, he's backed off. He's backed off. I was just about to say.
Holland Campion goes wide. That's going to give Lord Jedi a run. Lord Jedi, the two championship contenders side by side now as they come up in towards turn 5 on the outside. Lord Jedi, can he make anything of it?
Close, but no. Campion just slots in front. Both Lord Jedi backing off, knowing that he's not going to be able to get the run down into that corner. It's very difficult to go wheel to wheel through that corner there, Toussaint. I was just about to say, that safety car is going to really help all of these drivers on the soft tyre maybe go onto the medium tyre instead of the hards at the end of this race, because saving them a few laps of that tyre wear. So it'll be interesting to see who opts for the hards early and who maybe tries to go a bit longer for those mediums.
Definitely, as I am well aware that there's other battles going out in track, but I'm not taking
Joe
my
looking
camera
over the
off
back
of
of
these two at the
Barty now.
moment.
Joe looking over the back of Barty, going down the inside maybe, and he gets the pass done. I don't think Lord Jedi is close enough. Doesn't have DR. Oh no, he does have DRS, but he's not close enough.
It's a DRS train at the moment between these four, as they're going to be very close together as they go down towards turn 4.
Lord Jedi's going to have DRS.
Opportunity here.
But so
Holland Campion.
So Holland Campion. Oh, Holland Campion maybe looking for
McLaren.
He was having a look at. Oh, Lord Jedi almost went for a move down the inside. That was close. That was close between the drivers. And Ex-Natty getting around Pope.
Ex-Natty's gone around the outside of Pope. They're side by side into the hairpin. Pope defends.
Ex-Natty almost losing the rear. Ex-Natty again having really bad rear grip as Lord Jedi gets the move. Campion. And
Lord Jedi's got Campion.
We've got a mid-table battle here, but it's practically for the championship, Tuesday. This is amazing.
This is for the championship. And once again, this series has not failed to disappoint.
It's got to be the best F1 series we've got here. Constant action in the freshman series, week after week.
As Barty's had a bad exit, that's going to give Lord Jedi another chance now to potentially get another car on this map.
Holland Campion don't have DRS as well, though. But Holland Campion losing out a little bit here because he's actually on the medium tyres, so he's going to be a little bit slow, but he's actually looking for a move. He's looking for a move. Oh, they almost touch. They almost touched the two championship contenders, both almost colliding here down the straight into turn 1, and that could have been even more catastrophic.
As the Lord Jedi went to the inside.
He's looking for a move again around the outside, maybe.
Oh, Ghost, there's banging between the two.
He's going to go for a move around the outside. He goes really wide. He goes really wide, and Lord Jedi getting the position back. But what a battle we've got here. In the mid-table between these drivers, and between Lord Jedi, who's second in the championship, and Holland Campion, who is in first. And what a race!
As Joe's had a spin, Joe's off the track, and he's been overtaken by 3 cars.
He's managed to slot back in, only losing 2 positions out to the 2 championship contenders, but has lost the rear there, and it's going to now have to try and defend to the Haas of Wick to 90.
As Barty now refresh me for the racing point.
There was contact between Victor and Joe. I believe Victor has the front left, front left end plate off of Victor's car. Joe's trying to defend that position.
Tiger, Lord Jedi now's going to look to the outside of the McLaren into turn 1.
Lord Jedi maybe going for a move.
He's got him. He's got him.
Has he got the move done?
Holland Campion's going to try and follow him through here and into the second DRS zone. He's got a very nice run, much better than the McLaren now. He's going to have the traction, he's going to have the DRS, he's going to have the inside line. Barge has failed to defend there. Holland Campion on the inside. Can he make this move into turn 4? Gets it done before the corner. Very nicely done there by the Red Bull driver.
Brilliant from Holland Campion. Both of these drivers are going to have to move up the grid. And what we're going to have to see here, Toussaint, is as they move up the grid, they will have a car between them most times. So that will get in the way of both of these two battling out, because if there's a slower car, it could really affect the gap between them, and one of them could run away from the other. So again, it's going to have to see how they'll go about that. As I believe Victor 90, front left end plate damage, and now he's being attacked from Cryptek from behind in the Red Bull.
Definitely, but crucially, Tiger, look at where Lord Jedi's teammate is. He's on the 50-50, currently running in 4th. Will some team orders come into play here, as Mares is streaking away at the front of the field at the moment?
Absolutely bossing this here, 3 seconds ahead of another Academy League driver of Pope. Joel going round the outside, around the inside of Barty. Will he keep the position going into turn 1? I think he will. Yes,
Brambo's looking at Thunder now as they come through the second DRS and then into turn 4. Hunter's going to defend to the inside. He hasn't gone to the inside enough though.
Maybe going down the inside. Will he get the pass done?
He's got it done.
Oh, it's close. It's done there.
It's very wide, and that's going to give Antelopen a chance potentially.
Antelopen
backs out the move.
That was smart from Antelopen there. Smart racing, backing out of that move, because he knew here Toussaint again that corner. You cannot really go wheel to wheel in there because it's such high speed, and it could be really unpredictable on the cars.
Yeah, definitely. But Thunder's had a bad exit there. Could that give Antelopen a chance? He doesn't go for the Lewis Hamilton dive bomb there into the hairpin.
Speaking of Lewis Hamilton, here comes Glock corner as they come down.
As Lord Jedi now has got a DRS gap now to Holland Campion. He's over a second ahead of his championship rival. But crucially now for Lord Jedi, he has to close that gap to Antelopen and Thunder in front. He needs to be on the podium here, as he doesn't currently have. He doesn't have enough to win the championship, but he does have enough to take it to Abu Dhabi the next round.
Someone who's had a really poor start to this race here, Toussaint, Pepelec. Look where he is on the grid after making that wing change, coming out of the safety car. He's all the way down in 17th position. So,
sorry, you go.
I was going to say it's poor again from Pepelec, as Victor 90 comes in and fixes his front wing damage that he had. And he's gone into a set of hards, and he'll be trying to go to the end of the race. Ooh, Cryptek and Barty getting close.
As a pit stop window is open now for those going onto the hard tyres, the pit stop window is open.
We missed that there, but Antelopen, was right all over the back of Thunder again, going up to that same corner, but had to back off. And smart racing again from the Williams driver.
Yeah, he is. Don't forget, Antelopen is also in the championship fight, so very intelligent driving here from the Williams driver. He just needs to take minimal risk, get the positions done, and at the moment he's sitting pretty out of the 3 championship contenders in this race at the moment. He's the highest place, but now he's going to have a DRS on Thunder 50-50. They're going to go down now towards turn 1. Can he make a move in? They're both going to have DRS, so it's going to be a dive down the inside if he makes it. Late on the brakes, possibly. No, they both had DRS here, but something to look at here, Toussaint. It's Joe and Holland Campion going wheel to wheel. I was just about to talk about Holland Campion. This is where he will come in. This is where he will come into play, because those medium tyres are really going to come into play here, as those softs will not be as fast now as those medium tyres. So he's really going to have to start pushing his way up the field, and he's got to get past Joe to do that. This GSY Bates gets a 3-second time penalty down in 12th position at the moment, but there's a battle for third between, third all the way through down to 6th at the moment with X-Natty, just over a second ahead of Brambo.
X-Natty actually picked up a 3-second time penalty towards the start of this lap, so he at the moment is going to need to build up a gap to these cars behind, otherwise he's going to be losing out on some big positions.
As look at Lord Jedi, already in shot of the 4 cars in front of him. He can see third position. He can practically taste it, he's so close. Are we going to see any drivers in this lap? Mares stays out.
I think it might be a bit too early. He's going to
stay out.
I think it'll be a bit too early.
We could see some drivers go for an undercut, though, and try and get to the end of the race.
Oh, did someone... Oh, no, I thought someone came in there.
I
thought someone came in. It was just the camera angle. But...
but Antelopen, still over the back of Thunder. A super fix, and then he goes to the back of the Williams.
Brembo super fixer almost into the back of Xnati, and now Antelopen will be looking at
the back of Thunder. He's going to go to the inside, I think. No, he's going to go to the outside.
A bit of lag there. Can he go around the outside, maybe? He's gonna have to get Thunder
very nicely.
He's gonna have to get Thunder before this corner, otherwise Antelopen's gonna have to back off again going into this corner, and I think he does so, yes. But just bearing in mind at the back here, Joe keeping close here to Lord Jedi, and Holland Campion keeping close behind Joe as well. Joe getting a brilliant start here, up into 8th position after he started all the way down at the back of the grid because of his qualifying penalty. And he at the moment is splitting up both the main championship contenders.
As Lord Jedi now only 2.6 seconds behind Antelopen. But as we're seeing here, it's quite hard it's quite easy to catch another car, but it's quite another thing to overtake if they're in a DRS train like these 4 cars are.
Antelopen all over the back of Lord Jedi. No, sorry, not Lord Jedi, Thunder.
Very close.
All over the back of the
be able to go for a move here.
I think he might go for
the outside.
He will. He's going to try and go for an outside into turn 1. Will he get the pass done?
Round the outside into turn 1. Oh, was it?
It's close. I've got a
side
really
by side through turn 2.
Angle. Oh,
that's how you take it cleanly, Ocon and Max.
That is how you take it cleanly. And so Antelopen trying to find someplace in behind.
He's going to go for the inside line there. Tiger's inside that. Oh no!
Oh, he backs off. Thunder defending really well there. Can I just add on that straight, keeping Antelopen behind him, and have Antelopen having to back off here. And also another man here who's trying to get himself back into the race. Pepelec moving himself up the grid.
Into 14th now, but as I'm just taking away from Pepelec's drive at the moment, Lord Jedi now only 1.9 seconds behind Antelopen.
So
Lord
he's really
looking for
here.
Looking for an opportunity to get back up the field and back into a championship winning place potentially. With Holland Campion down in 9th, not looking like he's making much of an impression at the moment on the car in front of him. Those medium tyres, it must be said, starting to wear maybe a little bit here.
Antelopen will be looking at the back of Thunder once again, as they all now come down to the come down here towards.
As Xnati's coming to the pits.
Xnati's coming, so he's the first out of all of these drivers, and I believe it looks like he might opt for the set of hards here. We know that Xnati during practicing has been loving those hard tyres too, Saint. So I think, yes, he is. He's come onto a set of hards, I believe. Yes, he has.
Yeah, hards.
So a set of hards for Xnati. He's going to be trying to go to the end of the race, and he is the first out of those top runners to make the pit stop.
We have a Renault off in the barriers. It's Taylor. He's had a spin.
Taylor at the back there coming off. Antelopen all over the back of Thunder again here too, Saint. Trying to move his way up into 4th place, trying to get big points and keep himself in this in championship contention here.
Taylor's out. Taylor's retired.
Taylor's out. Will it be? Oh, it's a VSC.
Virtual safety car.
A VSC.
That has ruined Xnati's race. All of the front runners now can come into the pits under the virtual safety car.
It might not last long. It might not be a long safety.
It might not last long, but Mares pits.
Mares pit, opting to take advantage, but I don't know how long this VSC is going to stay out for. They're usually quite short. Pope comes in as well. Both opting for a VSC. It has not helped Xnati at all.
Coming in.
Everyone
Lord
coming
Jedi,
in here.
Lord Jedi, no. He's come in behind his teammate.
Oh no, we could see a potential. Oh, this could be very. Holland Campion opts to stay out, but look, there's the medium tyres there too, Saint, doing good stuff here for Holland Campion as he's going to come out.
He's going to have to queue.
Oh, Lord Jedi having to queue here, and that's unfortunate there for Lord Jedi. And the VSC is ended.
Car is over.
So not as bad actually for Xnati as we thought to say this. He's moved himself back up into 8th, but what a disappointment for Lord Jedi.
His teammate out of the pits though. They're going to be side by side now. Antelopen tucks in just behind Xnati.
Let's have a look. Here's both Williams drivers going at it, and that really if maybe Thunder and Lord Jedi had maybe a bit more communication, could have maybe Thunder maybe could have stayed out, and Lord Jedi could have came in under that VSC.
As that could have been Holland Campion's get out of jail free card there with his championship rival having to pit behind his teammate.
Bearing in mind here though, to say Holland Campion still has to make a pit stop
That is true. So, I mean, Lord Jedi has made a cheaper pit stop now, obviously behind the VSC, under the VSC. Each driver has to run to a prescribed pace, which gives an advantage to stop under the VSC. But can he overcome that now? As Barty pits.
Barty comes in, yeah. So Barty opting to stay out on that lap, but that VSC there, that VSC. Carry on, sorry.
So the Thunder on the back of a Toro Rosso now to go down into turn 1. Can he make a move now as they come through turns 3, now down into turn 4?
Oh, Joe comes in as well. So Joe didn't opt to pit under that safety under that VSC, and he's come out as well. And Barty
Thunder's
as well.
Going to blast past the Toro Rosso here, closes the line a little bit.
Oh, Toro Rosso might go for the cutback.
As Antelopen's got past Natty. I
don't know whether
was that team orders.
I'm not sure. That could have been a very strategic move there from Tiger Antelopen and Natty G. It was interesting there. Maybe Natty just letting him past since Antelopen actually opting for a medium. So two different strategies here. Toussaint from the Williams team. Natty did pit before, opting for the hards, but Antelopen actually coming in for a set of mediums.
Yeah, as I believe the drivers on the hards are going to lose out quite massively here. The mediums can easily go to the end of the race from this point onwards. So this is a chance now for Antelopen.
That VSC really throwing a spanner in the works.
Definitely. As now Brembo Superfix are all over the back of Thunder 50-50. Can he go to the inside? He does.
Go for an inside. He might.
Oh, they come together though. There was a bit of contact.
There was a little bit.
Thunder is hugely offline now, as Antelopen now is going to look to capitalise on that. Brembo Superfixer makes a mistake up in front as well. Can Antelopen make a move on the Racing Point, who's been plaguing him for the past few laps, not being able to overtake? He's going to have DRS on the Toro Rosso also. Thunder's gone wide though. Can Antelopen get a run?
Thunder's gone wide. Oh, he's going to have to slot in behind.
But he's going to make a move on the Toro Rosso.
He's going to do it. Let's go wheel to wheel into that corner. Oh, this is going to be so close.
Thunder's going to get it.
Thunder got a position. An amazing move by Thunder 50-50s who went around the outside on that corner Toussaint. A brilliant move.
Definitely, but now Lord Holland Campion though, in clear air, he can run his own race, manage his tyres a little bit, and he might even be able to come out ahead of Lord Jedi at the moment.
Oh, it was a big oversteer from Brembo Superfixer.
And I think get overtaken by both Williams.
He got overtaken by both the Williams team. That was a huge amount of oversteer coming out of that corner.
As Antelope now all over the back of Thunder, this is for a net third position in the race.
Both of these drivers both been battling it out this entire race, Toussaint. Thunder and
he's got such a massive straight line and speed advantage. He can't make a move into turn 1, but through turns 3 and down towards turn 4.
Natty runs really wide and he's had to rejoin. I don't know, he might get a warning or a penalty for that maybe. Antelope now DRS. He's all over the back of Thunder. Can he get the move
to the
done?
Inside. Side by side.
It's going to be close. They make contact. That was close between the two drivers, both making a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. No wing damage, I don't think.
Nothing too serious there.
No wing damage.
But now Pope is closing on the back of Holland Campion, 1.1 seconds now the gap, as these two have been leading the academy at the moment, 1 and 2 in the freshman league as well. Absolutely running away with it. Mares, 8.1 seconds clear now of Pope in third place, net second place though, as Joe picks up a penalty.
3-second time penalty for Joe.
Holland Campion pits. Oh no, he hasn't pitted. Sorry, that's what
Pepelec is moving his way back up the grid actually on a very, very old medium tyres there, but managed to actually get around GSY Bates, who's even on even older tyres.
Antelope on Thunder now. Antelope's going to go to the inside. Thunder doesn't defend. Can Thunder keep it around the outside? Late braking. There's a bit of lag. Antelope gets it.
Antelope gets the move done, and now Natty will be looking all over the back of Thunder. It's Natty will have DRS, but Brembo Superfixer will also have DRS. And I think it's just going to stay as it is for now.
Thunder's going to look to the inside, but he's made a mistake, and now Natty's going to have a run down the inside. Natty takes the position.
Natty getting the position over on Thunder after he capitalises on a mistake, and both Williams here moving themselves up the grid simultaneously, and Pope and Holland Campion as Pope gets around Holland Campion.
Yellow's in sector 2.
Pope goes back into second position.
It was only a matter of time really. Holland Campion on aging medium tyres now. I believe he could come in now and go to the soft tyres and get to the end, but he will have a massive tyre advantage now come the end of the race. Will we see him pit this lap?
I'm not sure.
He stays out for another one.
No, he might go a little bit longer here, Toussaint, because otherwise he's going to have to really stretch those soft tyres out to around 16, 17 laps, which...
But Antelope now needs to make a headway with Pope and Maris in front of him. This is his chance now for the championship. As Brembo Superfix is looking at the back of Thunder, I think Thunder's made an error, a strategic error there, and going to the hard tyres. That's his ex-Natty in front of him now, but Brembo Superfix are now in 7th place.
Cryptek and Pepelec having a battle here. Is Cryptek, Pepelec going to go around the outside here? Oh, they make a little bit of contact in turn 2 as there's going to come round now. Both drivers will be having... Oh, I don't know. I think none of them have got DRS here. They're both wheel to wheel. Will Pepelec get the move done under braking? Maybe. Oh, he's run a little bit on the grass, but I think Cryptek keeps it for now. But Pepelec showing a great pace here at Toussaint.
As Brembo Superfixer hits the rear of the Racing Point then, and he pitches the pink car into a spin. But now Lord Jedi, once again with a job to do, closing on the back of these two to break down his pit deficit. Cryptek and Pepelec still battling it out, I can see.
It again. Pepelec going for a move, maybe. No, he doesn't. But yes, Lord Jedi, 1.3 seconds now behind this group of cars. So he's really going to have to push here, but needs to conserve his tyres as well.
Who is in Sector 3? Pyro, he's retired.
It's Pyro, he's out.
Could we see another safety car?
No, I think his car's carried on. I think he's just retired, so I think it's all good there. I don't think there will be a safety car. We'll have to see.
He has parked up on the side there.
Holland Campion actually 21 laps on those mediums, so it seems to be running okay at the moment. As Brembo Superfixer going really, really wide, and Thunder's going to get the position back. And looks like Brembo late on the brakes there and ran really wide down there into turn 4.
As Play Dutch in the chat yelling at Holland Campion to box now, as he's losing time now to Antelope behind. It is an in moment where the Holland Campion or the Holland Campion fan club can be reading the chat now and pass that information on to him.
Campion, I'm sure Jody FIFA will be watching as well for his brother here. The Holland Campion family will be watching on.
Holland Campion
in. Right, let's have a look now, Toussaint, and see where Holland Campion comes out. Let's have a look here.
Antelope will jump him.
Antelope will get him. Natty will get him. Thunder will get him. Superfix will get him. Crucially here, Lord Jedi will get him. Lord Jedi will get him.
No, it's going to be close. It's going to be close.
Oh, it's going to be...
Lord Jedi has done it. Oh, no, maybe not, because this is a very strange pit. No, Lord Jedi's got him. But crucially, Lord Jedi's only one position ahead now of Holland Campion, who will be charging back through the field on soft tyres.
Holland Campion, yeah, it's fresh soft tyres. They'll be charging at it as Thunder.
Superfixer
go at it again. Thunder.
But Superfixer's gone off the track. Thunder's going to have the inside line. Superfixer can't do anything about it. And he has kept the position, but Holland Campion now... Holland Campion now only 4 seconds behind Lord Jedi on fresh soft tyres.
What this is going to do for Antelope. He's going to still be in contention at this last race in Abu Dhabi. And what our last race we're going to be, we're going to have potentially, if it stays as it is, 3 drivers, Toussaint, going at it on the final race for the championship. And what an end that will be.
Definitely, it's the only 2 people who are disrupting Antelope from having a further chance at the championship. Pope and Mares, who
both academy drivers.
They have just ran away with this one. We saw them at the start. We haven't seen them for the rest of the race.
So both academy drivers showed a brilliant pace here, and also both of them two are going to have a fight next week in Abu Dhabi as well.
Oh, it's the Racing Points and the red and the Toro Rosses are side by side now. Lord Jedi and Thunder now side by side. We'll see some team orders here.
They should really be having some team orders, and I think maybe, yes, it looks like Thunder's going to have to defend, but then give the position to
Superfix, and now Superfix going to dive
side of both of them. Brembo Superfixer slotted right in the centre, Toussaint, of the both racing points, and that could have been an absolute catastrophic crash there.
That could have been catastrophic indeed. But that has elevated Lord Jedi up 2 positions now, and he can go and chase down the 2 Williams cars in front for a potential podium finish. But Holland Campion now smashed the gap. Yeah, it's only 2.3 seconds now.
Yeah, but look at the positions here. Holland Campion going to have to try and find his way through Thunder and Superfixer. Who's that off? Who's that off? Oh, it's Thunder in the grass.
It's Thunder, no.
I thought it was Lord Jedi, but it's Thunder. So now only one car between the two drivers, and it is Brembo Super Fixer, the only Toro Rosso car. And this could be very interesting as well. Both Williams up there in the points, and that could be really interesting for the constructors here. Do you know who's leading the constructors at the moment? Is it the Red Bull team?
I believe it's Red Bull, I think, yeah. But they're currently down to 7th and 8th. But Natty now is going to start coming at Antelope. And Antelope has made a mistake somewhere there in the first part of the lap. That's going to allow Lord Jedi now also to close up. Lord Jedi needs to get these two moves done before the end of the race. We've got 12 laps to go, including this one. As I am sweating.
I know, this is a really intense race. As Natty now all over the back of his teammate. But Lord Jedi is going to have to make up what now is a 1.9 second gap to Natty and Antelopen, and he's going to have to try and get past them two to gain even more of a gap to Holland Campion. But Antelopen, I'm sure, will not let that pass easily, as he is also in championship contention.
Definitely, as Lord Jedi now only 1.8 seconds behind Natty and closing those fresh medium tyres.
Natty here might go for a strategic team manoeuvre here and might try and hold off Lord Jedi as much as possible to give Antelopen a gap outwards, so he can keep that third position and get more points than both of these drivers going into the final race. It's
going to be a tough ask for Natty to complete that task, though, as they're starting to gap Lord Jedi now a little bit, as Natty all over the back of his Williams teammate once again. Don't believe he's going to go for a move. Respectful driving there between the two Williams drivers. They know that there's a larger goal at stake here, as Lord Jedi now has actually lost a bit of time to Natty. The gap now 2.4 seconds.
I mean, that gap to Brembo Super Fixer still 1.4 seconds. Surprisingly though, Super Fixer only a second behind Campion, but Campion is gaining. It looks like it, but that gap hasn't really closed down too much as we will have thought maybe between the tyres. But it actually is now under a second now, so we could see a battle between these two.
Yes, but as the fuel levels come down, the tyres do tend to feel better on the game. So obviously, when the cars are at the start and they're chock full with fuel, the handling is quite severely impacted. So now the fuel's worn off, but Holland Campion less than half a second now behind. He's going to be able to make a move here into turn 1, the beginning of Campion's charge back through the field. After he gets past the Toro Rosso, the only car ahead of him will be Lord Jedi. He's going for an inside. He'll go to the inside.
Holland Campion
he's hit the Toro Rosso.
Contact. Was there any damage? I don't think there was any damage done, no. But that Holland could have been awful. And I think in real life one that would have been a horrific accident. Hitting the wall at that speed. I think both tyres would have probably punctured.
As a Holland Campion, there has to be seriously careful with moving back onto the racing line. You need to be sure that you've cleared the car behind before you go for a move back over to the racing line. But with that move, 1.3 seconds behind Lord Jedi, this is going to get frosty.
This is going to get very, very interesting, as Lord Jedi will get a few points up going into the final race if he keeps that position. But Holland Campion going to be chasing him down, and also they'll both be chasing down Antelopen as well, who is still in contention for this championship. And what a finish we could have here. But not to take it away from the top two drivers here, Toussaint, Pope and Mares. We're going to say Mares 11 seconds ahead of Pope. Pope 13 seconds ahead of Antelopen, and this could be this could be astonishing here, and that does not look good.
We've got some lag issues. Natty's just on 106.3.
I think Natty Natty's disconnected. Oh no, Natty is not going to be. He's not going to be happy with that.
As his AI and Lord Jedi have gone side by side into turn 4 now.
So now that team strategy that I was talking about to say all out the window now.
yeah, exactly. As Holland Campion to be able to make a move pretty easy, I would have thought. But he's going to get held up here through the middle sector.
The Red Bull team is on. Just been messaged by Gavra. The Red Bull team is on 129 points, and get this, the Racing Point team. Holland Campion needs to be careful with that AI.
Made a move.
But as I was saying to
scary stuff there.
The Red Bull team 129 points. The Racing Point team 127 points. 2 points behind the Red Bull team. The Williams team are 120 points, only 9 points behind the Red Bull team. So so it looks like here that looks like X90's car's come in. That isn't good for him at all. But
Definitely not.
It looks like here that the Williams team are on some really good points, and they are in constructors' contention here. But with X90 out of this now, dropping all the way out of the points, that is unfortunate for him, and we could have seen a really good constructors battle at the end here as well, and we still will.
But we still might see a drivers battle. Yeah.
We're going to see a drivers and constructors between Red Bull and Racing Point, and both of those drivers fighting for the championship.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the battle for, well, not the lead in the championship, but certainly for who will have the advantage coming into the final round at Abu Dhabi, which will take place next week at the same time. So if you are enjoying this racing, I know we are, please come and join us next week for the season finale. It will be the championship decider, it looks like, as Holland Campion does not currently have enough points to overcome that points deficit. Well, not to overcome the points, but to extend his lead to a point where it is insurmountable.
It looks like it, yes. As I believe Lord Jedi will get 12 points and Callum Campion will get 10. Is that correct? Or
yes, so that it will be 15 points going into the last round of the season.
So that is going to be very interesting between those two. If it stays as it is, but I believe it looks like Holland Campion, look who's coming into the back of Lord Jedi's screen. It's in 1.9 seconds now here to Saint. And also, he could potentially gain a much of a gap to get ahead of Antelope. Now, would that win him the championship?
I am not too sure, but I think Lord Jedi to...
I don't think it would, because if Holland Campion was to get third, and Lord Jedi was to get fifth, there would be only 5 points difference, and Campion needs a 9-point difference.
Yes, he does. So he would need for something to go quite drastically wrong here for Lord Jedi. I hope that's not on commentator's curse. That one might come back to bite me in the butt very quickly, but hopefully not.
As Antelope in here, got a sizable gap to Lord Jedi at the moment, but look at that gap to Saint. 1.3 seconds now. Campion is behind Lord Jedi. This is going to get very, very good towards the end of this race with 5 laps remaining.
As just down towards the back of the field, we've got the Alfa Romeo of Oriole, who's just made a move on Victor for 14th place. Currently all over the back of GSY Bates for 13th, less than a second now. So he will have... Oh no! As he's had a massive oversteer moment there, and then he went into the wall, as he's trying to chase down the McLaren GSY Bates.
Dirty Larry pit, and then immediately got damage coming out of the pits, it looks like. As he's got bad wing damage as well. But there's a battle going on at the back here. But let's just keep an eye on that gap actually to Saint. That's gone back down to a second. That's gone down to a second.
Those are sectors 2 and 3. Back to green flags. Nothing too bad.
I believe it was something. I'm not sure who that was. I think it was Pope getting around the back marker of I think it was Oriole, I believe. No, there was someone who was Dirty Larry.
Yeah, as just looking in the chat now, GSI, that fastest lap from Natty was a glitch. So I don't know what we're going to do about the fastest lap points.
Would you give it to whoever has the second fastest lap, maybe?
I think it's Mares at the moment who has it.
Let's have a look here. Can it show fastest lap?
Yeah,
the second fastest lap is...
Dirty Larry is out.
Dirty Larry's out.
He's in the pits, though. He's in the pits.
Okay, that's fine. 90 getting fastest lap, but that is a glitch. I believe the fastest time it looks to be... I believe it is... Oh, no, it's Holland Campion. Holland Campion, an 11.2 it looks like here to Saint. So okay. I think, Gavra, if you are listening, I think Holland Campion, if no one else is to beat that time, we'll have a look at the end of the race. I think Holland Campion would have fastest lap.
But Holland Campion now all over the back of Lord Jedi here, all over the back of his championship rival. Less than a second now, he'll have DRS coming down the main straight and into turn 1. Can he make a move on the track to extend his championship lead? Can he get Antelope in for third and extend it even more?
Oh, someone's off in sector 2. There's a little bit of a battle going on in sector 2.
It's Larry's AI.
Okay, it's fine here, but there's Holland Campion within a second now here of Lord Jedi. Let's see if he can get the move done, but those soft tyres are going to start wearing away to Saint lap after lap. But he has actually got only 3 laps, though, so he should be should be fine on them, sorry, but he's getting close now. DRS open, but hasn't been able to get in it close enough to make the move.
Can he hook it up now through turns 3 and have a run down into turn 4? Second DRS, so now open to DRS. Always a bit too far behind the Racing Point, it would seem at the moment. But at the moment, the championship gap will close to 15 points if they keep these positions. Antelope now looks to be out of arm's reach at the moment, but the two who are really out of arm's reach are Pope and Mahrez. They have performed incredibly today.
Incredible race from those drivers.
As Holland Campion now less than half a second behind his championship rival, Lord Jedi. Oh, he's got a bit of a snap of oversteer there into the long hairpin now, up towards the corner where Albon and Hamilton had their little shunt. Not a repeat here from the two guys in the Freshman League, showing the F1 guys how it's done.
Both drivers are coming down towards Glock Corner. We won't see anybody go off. Yeah, well, it's Glock Corner. It is always will be Glock Corner. As Holland Campion now will have DRS once again, and he's going to be trying to look all over the back of the Racing Point here of Lord Jedi. And he's coming down now. Can he get the pass done? I don't think he's close enough again, Toussaint. I don't think he's close enough.
I think Lord Jedi running quite low wings on that Racing Point to give him some extra straight line speed. It looks like there's a little bit of lag there, as now Holland Campion's had a good exit from turn 3. He's closer than he was on the last lap.
DRS again.
Close enough to try anything down into turn 4. The little Jedi that goes defensive comes back to the racing line. There's nothing that Holland Campion can do, but he is getting ever closer to the Racing Point in front of him. I'm riding on board with him at the moment. They're going to come now into turn 5. They're very
really close. They're getting really close now. It's Holland Campion. Ooh, looked like he was trying to...
Lord Jedi goes defensive again. It's going to open up the line potentially for Holland Campion into the next corner. He's very close, only 2/10 of a second now. Can he go for a dive bomb move?
Ooh, will he have a look here? No, I don't think
he chooses not to.
He chooses not to go for it there, but he's going to be
as Mahrez starts the penultimate lap of the race, but look at how close Holland Campion is now. 0.3 of a second. Had a good exit through Jun Sao. Can the Racing Point straight line speed prevent a match for the Red Bull behind? How long Campion's going to have the DRS? He's going to have the slipstream. Or Jedi will have to go to the defensive. Can Holland Campion make a move?
Can Campion maybe go for the move?
Not quite, but he's going to have a great run now out of turn 3 down into turn 4. They've closed the gap to Holland Campion by over a second, these two, just with their hard battling. As now Lord Jedi's going to have to go defensive here. Holland Campion's going to have to go to the outside.
Holland Campion going around the outside, maybe. Is he going to go for a pass?
They touch! And Lord Jedi is round! As that...
We knew it was going to end badly, but no damage. Is there any damage to the Racing Point?
No damage to either car at the moment, but Holland Campion just closed.
I'm not sure whether was that a bit of a bad move there from Holland Campion? Would you say?
Holland Campion closed the line for Lord Jedi way too quickly there. He was still alongside and he needed more space than that, really. He just closed the gap to the apex a bit too much, and resulted in the spin.
Maybe be seeing a penalty maybe going into the final race.
We could potentially see a penalty for Holland Campion, which won't help his championship ambitions, but now he just needs to get his head down and focus on trying to get past Antelope and try and improve his position as much as he can. As Mahrez starts his final lap of the race now.
That could have been even worse for Lord Jedi. Is Holland Campion, if Lord Jedi had got damaged there and crashed out more into the wall, that could have been Lord Jedi out of this race, and Holland Campion would have taken the championship victory because of that.
Oh, well, actually, he wouldn't, because oh, no, yes, he would, if Lord Jedi had crashed out. Yeah, that is true. But now, Mahrez is going to come through Jun Sao. You've got yellows in Sector 1
Mahrez coming around
AI.
Mahrez
comes through the final 2 corners now. Mahrez, the Academy League Championship leader, he's going to cross the line here in the Freshman Series. And he's going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix.
A brilliant race from him.
Very well done.
Pope. Or the Pope, as we like to call him, will come round in the Renault, and he will take second place. An outstanding race from both of those drivers, putting the Freshman League racers to shame as they both come round.
Right now, though, Holland Campion and Antelope are separated by less than a second. Could he go for it at the end? It's not going to quite beat Gasly and Hamilton to the line. He's not close enough.
Antelope will get third. So Antelope getting a few points back there, Toussaint, and will now still be in contention for the championship.
But crucially, crucially, Holland Campion extends his championship lead now going to Abu Dhabi.
But might have a penalty going into the final race.
Thunder 50-50 is going to cross the line for 8th, Joe 9th, and it's going to be Barty.
Super Fixer gets 6th, yeah. Cryptech gets 7th, Thunder 8th, Joe 9th, Barty 10th, Xnatty's AI will come around in 11th. Unfortunate for him. And someone else as well who's had an unfortunate race was Pepelek. And I think it was just, for both Joe and Pepelek, I think that virtual safety car really did not help them out at all. I think that virtual safety car really threw a spanner in the works of both of those drivers.
Definitely. As before we end the stream here, please get your drivers of the day votes in the description.
It's going to be difficult to pick 3 drivers. God.
Oh, definitely.
We need to pick 3 drivers.
I think we have to mention Mahrez, I would think.
I think it should be Mahrez, Pope, Mahrez and Pope. Oh, but Holland Campion. Mahrez, Pope, Holland Campion. Oh, I'm going to have to do 5. But look at everyone. Could have given it Joe from 18th to 9th. Antelopen, 8th to 3rd. Lord Jedi, 9th to 5th. It's so many options.
Impressive drives. I'd probably throw Barty in there as well. He had a very topsy-turvy race, but he still came back to points.
Joe says X90G.
Well, he did come back. I think he managed to reconnect and just finished outside of the points there at the end. I think he just missed out on it.
Got one driver. Oh, that Peter Speckgens is the father of Holland Campion putting his driver of the day in, and no wonder it is Holland Campion for driver of the day.
I would probably have to disagree with that opinion on the crash, but I'm sure we'll talk about that in the podcast. So yeah,
if you want to listen to everything that happened in this race, go and check out the weekend's podcast on Sunday, the Grid Stop, where we'll be joined by me, Xnatty, and Tucson 0208. We'll be talking about everything that's happened in the race, and we will be talking about a bunch of other stuff as well, and getting a guest on like we had last week.
As we are hopefully, if nothing crops up with his work, we are hopefully looking into getting your Super League champion Play Dutchy on the phone for the next one.
This week. But drivers of the days and guys. Ooh, okay. There's a bit of beef going on in the chat.
Pope, Piero says.
I can understand why you've said that. Father and all.
Yeah. We've got Holland Campion driver of the day.
Mahrez and Pope. Holland Campion. So I think I'd put it between Antelopen, Holland Campion, Pope, Mahrez, Lord Jedi, and I'll throw Joe in there because he had a good comeback.
As Majestic Vibes has said, Natty's Wi-Fi.
Poor Natty's Wi-Fi. And do you know what? Yeah. It's weird because Natty's Wi-Fi has been good this entire week. He's not lagged out. I don't think he's lagged out once in this entire week. And it had to happen during the race, and it's frustrating because it happened to me on Monday. And I couldn't have been more angry. But it looks like Holland Campion's getting the most votes at the moment.
Definitely, but as I can just see, as I can just say, like, this series is incredible, man.
This series does not disappoint at all. It does not. I really hope Gavra, if you're listening, put me back on commentary in this next season, because this race does not disappoint. It really, really doesn't. But thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't already gone and subscribed, what are you doing? Why haven't you subscribed yet? Go and subscribe to the Gavra Racing YouTube channel. We have hit 840 subscribers, which is it's big numbers. We're getting into big numbers now, Toussaint. So yeah, 840 subs on the channel. Make sure you go and like the video. I see 20 of you watching, but only 1 like. What are you doing? Like the video now. What are you like? Stop putting comments in the chat for you drivers of the day. That's done now. I want likes on the video, please. Okay, I want to see 20 likes. Thank you, someone liked. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Can we just a word in the chat? Can we please just keep it pleasant? It's only a game, guys. So
yeah, it's just a game. It's all fun and games, as they say. But yes, if you want to go and check out the socials, go and check out Instagram, go follow that, go and check out the Twitter page, where I be posting a lot of stuff, as always. and make sure you go and have a look around the Gavra Racing website. A lot of stuff to look at. And if you need any information or you need to talk to anyone in the admin team, or if you want to, if you have any problems, join the Discord, where you can also put a question for the Grid Slot podcast Q&A, which will be on Sunday. There is a chat for that as well. But thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to Saint for joining me in another outstanding race once again.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure indeed. And so we'll see everyone next week. Final race of the week for Abu Dhabi. So we will see everyone then.